A complaint of harassment's been laid with the Human Rights Commission over John Key's ponytail-pulling, as I've just said. Serial litigant Graeme McCready filed the complaint after John Key admitted repeatedly pulling Auckland waitress Amanda Bailey's hair. And legal experts say if she wanted to, Amanda Bailey could lodge civil proceedings against the Prime Minister too. With me now is Auckland University law professor Bill Hodge. Bill, good morning to you.
Good morning.
Is there any real likelihood that John Key could be in legal hot water over this?
Shortly, no, absolutely not. I think it is a waste of time. If you look at Section 62 of that Human Rights Act, it uses the word sexual 7 times. Where is the sexuality in that? There is actually a precedent. Caressing hair, if there's more, could be a form of harassment. But there has to be more than simply touching the hair. There was caressing.
Okay, so touching the hair could be deemed harassment,
if there was
not
extra.
Sexual.
Well, it could be harassment. Yeah, pulling hair obviously could be harassment, but it's not sexual harassment unless there's something else. There was, in the other case where there was caressing the hair, there was hugging, and we call that case the Hungarian hugger. It was Leonard against University of Massey. There's none of that element here.
All right. So given what we know, and assuming there is no more there, and there's reason to assume there's no more there, given what we know, the Human Rights Commission will not take this any further.
I think they will look at it and say, we've got better things to do. The complainant herself, or rather the complainant, the victim herself is not complaining, we don't make this a matter of urgency, we won't take it any further. That would be my suggestion.
Right. Okay, so what are the other possibilities? Because, of course, there are many people coming further saying that the victim herself, Amanda, could take things further legally herself. What are those possibilities?
Well, I said that myself. Let's clear off the first one. The police could...
So basically, McCready is wasting everyone's time.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think it's political opportunism. The second one, which I will clear off, I'll just mention it, there is the possibility of what I call common assault. The police could bring a case. The police will say, don't be silly. We don't want to do that.
Yep.
The other one is, it's called common law. It's a breach of what we call tort, and she could sue for battery and assault. She could sue, if she was an American, she might sue for $1 million for punitive damages. I don't think she wants to do that. I think she said, look, I've had my say, I'm finished. So she could. It's not a great case. Technically, it was a battery. Pulling someone's hair is a battery, like blowing smoke in their face.
As you say, it's not a great case. Is it degenerated still further by the fact that clearly she hasn't laid a complaint yet, and if she were going to do that, it's in light of the fact that the whole thing's become public and there are probably political motives there?
It looks like it's political. It's up to her. She's the one who is, quote, the victim.
Would the court, though, when assessing this, would the police or the courts ultimately take into account the possibility of a political motive?
I think they would look at it, it's trivial to start with, and it has a political overtone on top of that. So I think the police would say, forget it. The Human Rights Commission, I think, should say, forget it. She could bring this civil case in the district court. I don't think she wants to, and I think it's legally, it's sort of the thing I'd put on an exam question. Is this an assault? Is this punitive damages? And I hope students would say, don't be silly. Technically, yes. Get real, no.
Okay, what are the other legal possibilities here? Because it has been suggested that her employers could be in the gun as well.
Well, under the Employment Relations Act, she could only bring a case against her employer for not protecting her against a customer.
And for that, they would have to have known about it and known that she was unhappy.
And they would have to take reasonable steps. She'd have to complain to them. They'd have to fail to take reasonable steps. And I don't see that getting off the ground either.
All right. I know you're a legal man, but if you were a betting man, and you can be both, would you imagine that legally nothing will come of this?
I don't think there will be any legal consequences. It's all political.
Bill, thank you so much.